This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now I am so excited for today's show because I will be welcoming back the gorgeous, the talented, the all-around beautiful human being, Dedee Pfeiffer, the sister of Michelle Pfeiffer, and I'm going to have her back on, and we are going to nerd out on the entertainment of our youth today and catch up. A lot has happened since the last time she was on here 2 years ago. Big Sky got canceled, and she started an awesome, and I do mean awesome, podcast called Down with Dedee, where she talks to her friends, family, celebrities about alcoholism and coping with it and so forth. And it's going to be great to have Dedee back on the show today. I am so looking forward to it. And I'm keeping the bisexual day shenanigans going even today, the day after National Bisexual Day. And I'm going to say it once again, go both ways, love each other, and no more hate. There's been enough of that in this world. Just to love each other. That's all you got to do. And I'm loving this new laptop. Oh, I hope it doesn't fail me now, because the last one I had, the last one I had was the best laptop I ever had, but it got really weird near the end with it, and I hope to God that this laptop doesn't fail me in the future. So far, it's doing just great. But then again, I can be a skeptic and a cynic. So yeah, here is my new interview with Dedee Pfeiffer. So, going back in time, do you remember the first movie that impacted you as a child?
I was thinking he's going to ask me that question, and um, I had an odd childhood. My mom didn't drive, and my dad was active in his disease of alcoholism, so
Mm-hmm.
he rarely drove us anywhere. So, and we weren't in walking distance of like a theater or anything. But I remember the first time I went to a movie theater was with my friend Kelly Fenolia and her mom,
Right.
and I was blown away. And it was A Star Is Born with Barbara Streisand, and I was really young. Yeah, I'm 60, so if you think
Yeah.
about it, yeah, it came out when I was young, and it I bawled. I bawled. I was like, well, I'd never seen a movie. I'd never seen anything so grand other than like a little, a TV. So, and what a fantastic movie to see your first time out. Blew my mind. And then, um, so of course I was a Barbara Streisand fan after that for sure.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to say smash cut years later when I was in LA living with my sister. She and I believe my other sister as well, we went to All That Jazz. Remember with Rod Schneider? Yeah, All That Jazz.
Oh,
And when we left that movie,
Roy Scheider.
we geeked out big time. We literally, there was a bunch of stairs that left the theater and went down, and we were like going down and pretending we were dancing and pretending we were jazz dancers. Three of us. That one, to this day, when I hear that music, I go right back there, and the three of us go down the stairs thinking that we were all going to become dancers after that movie. As you can see, none of
Right.
that happened.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Have you seen all the versions of A Star Is Born?
No, no, I'm a weirdo. I do movies and TV, but I don't watch it. I only watch the like paranormal and supernatural things. um, but actually, there's another movie I was thinking about that blew my mind, and now, I'm not sure when it came out,
Hmm.
but again, I saw all the movies that I saw with other people,
Hmm.
but freaking Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jaws wrecked my head for the rest of my life, and I know I hear this all the time. People say all you have to do is be in the water
Hmm.
and hear that music, and you
Right.
run out, and that yeah.
Yeah.
What a Do you know the story behind Jaws and
Oh,
that music and how they? edited it and all that? How effective it was?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I know it was a book, and Carl Gottlieb, who was more of a comedy guy, he adapted it into this genius movie that had layers of dark humor in it, you know. But yeah, I mean, at the time, it was the highest-grossing movie of all time until Star Wars came.
Yeah. And it also ruined all of us when it comes to going to the beach. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody can go to the beach anymore. When you're
no,
in the water, all you do is hear that music. And you go, "Oh my!"
yeah,
Now, what I found out later, which I thought was so interesting, and it makes so much sense. That one of the major there's a lot of reasons why the movie worked, but one of them is that I guess the special effects with the actual shark
hmm,
was so bad and so comicky and ridiculous and not scary, cartoony, that the director was like, I kind of can't use it.
yeah,
It's just gonna, it's almost like the poor actors were acting as if it was a real shark, and yet it looked like something that was made out of plastic. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Made them look stupid. So
yeah,
I guess in the editing room, what he decided to do
hmm,
was to not cut to the shark as
yeah,
much as cut reaction of the actors and the water and the
yeah,
music. And then what that did was left the majority of the fear, not in the visual, but in your own imagination.
right.
And nothing is more scary than the shit you can bring to your own head,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So, and I thought that was such a great what a smart thing to do, because had it wouldn't have been as effective, I think, or as scary had they had the movie not left it to our own imagination of what the scariest big thing that could take your leg off or eat you alive underneath the water. And all of us have our own subjective version of what that looks like, right?
right,
So if you tell me what it looks like, it may not scare me, but I can
right.
tell you right now, what in my head that scares, whatever I'm imagining scares me.
Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah. I mean, Back to the Future was the first movie that impacted me because just like anybody who loves that movie, I've always had that fantasy of going back in time and finding out why my parents are so fucked up and why I'm so fucked up, you know. And I think that's the appeal of that movie, you know. Everybody would like to go back in time.
Not me.
Really?
Hell no. No. No, 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 no. I think that at a certain age, I hope that, because I constantly am working on being in my enlightenment, being in the moment,
Hmm.
not having regrets. Because if you're in the past, you're not in the moment. And
Hmm.
if you're in the future, you're in the moment. And the only control you have is what's in the moment, right? I can't go
Right.
back and change anything. And I don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. So, really, for someone who does have anxiety, which is future tripping, I don't have depression, but I know that comes from the past.
Hmm.
That I try to like do a lot of work on my enlightenment to just kind of be here in the now, and that also includes being really careful and mindful, not digging shit up from the past and wanting to go back and redo things, because that means you're missing something in the now right now, like, right,
Yeah.
like if your life isn't fulfilling enough, or it could be better, then stop what you're doing and do something about it now, right?
Right.
Because you can change the trajectory of your life by making one simple change today, right?
Right. What genre did you gravitate
So I want
toward?
to go back.
Yeah. What genre did you
Oh,
gravitate toward the most in film growing up?
well, I didn't see a lot of films growing up. I only saw whatever I could get a ride from, right, from a friend.
Hmm.
Well, I know. Well, I saw whatever was out, right? Because remember, I was born in the '60s,
Yeah.
so I wasn't even going to movies until like the '70s, and then maybe the '80s, '90s. Now, uh, uh, I'm weird. I don't really like to watch movies because I'm critiquing them,
Right.
right? Or yeah, or I'm looking at the really good production or the amazing act or whatever. And so that's why I generally just watch whistleblowers talk about paranormal and supernatural stuff, because that shit really excites me. But I'm gonna say, you know what? Another movie that blew my mind,
Hmm.
which is a completely different movie than what I just spoke about.
Yeah.
That again, another movie I went, oh my god, was Hair, the
Yeah.
original musical Hair
Love it.
with
Love it.
Treat Williams.
Treat Williams, Beverly
Oh my god.
D'Angelo. Yeah.
Oh, oh my god, another movie. I know every single song, every
Hmm.
single lyric. I know every single scene, and I still cry when he marches. I still cry,
Yeah.
and I think probably in my heart I'm just kind of like a hippie or something. I don't know, but I just that. I mean, when he's dancing down the table singing, "I got my body, I got my being, I got na 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 na, I got my,"
Yeah.
and then the hair, lock of hair. I mean, it's just like these are classics, you
Yeah.
know. And then when Beverly sang that song solo. No, no, it wasn't her. It was the other actress who was amazing with the little girl solo.
Yeah.
Um, and to this day, like I mean, those like go in and permeate your soul.
Yeah.
You know those are good movies. You're still talking about a scene or what an actor did or said. A lot of stuff is made and it kind of comes and goes, kind of like your peripheral or your short-term memory comes goes comes goes. But when it's like really good classic music is the same thing. Like Aerosmith, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it will never die.
Yeah.
Even
Love
my boys
Aerosmith.
are like, that's damn good shit. I'm like, I told you I was ready for some good music. Not everything I listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And movies is the same, right? When they're
right.
made solid like that, when they're just solid, they're not made. I don't know how to say this. They're made because you have a lot of people together, starting with the script, that have the same common denominator. Let's entertain. Let's rock the shit out of this movie,
Yeah.
And when you have everybody on board and everyone's given 110%, that hopefully and enough people in the instrumental uh, positions of the film, it comes together and you're just like, yeah, kick that right out of the park, right?
Right. Do you remember when going back to Star Wars, when Star Wars came out? I mean, I've seen footage of like lines around the block in LA, the theaters with the kids and their parents and everything. I mean, it was complete pandemonium. Do you remember seeing that?
Okay, again, I'm like the oddest chick. I don't even think I've seen a Star Wars.
Hmm.
Actually, or how about, let me rephrase it. I think I saw one where there was a little kid and he was riding a really fast rocket. I'm not sure. Is that Star Wars? Is that Star Trek? No, that's Star.
Yeah, maybe Star
I
Trek.
know. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've gone to be 60 years old and never seen one. Well, at first, like I said, I never went to the movies growing up. And then I think when that all came out, I was doing movies. I was auditioning. I was
Right.
working a job. You know what I mean? I was kind of active in trying to get my life together.
Hmm.
That going to a movie, at least at that point, was a luxury I didn't have. So I never got into it.
Yeah.
But I do remember one time my friend dressed up to go to the
Yeah.
Star Wars premiere, I guess, at the theater down the block in LA. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "You don't understand, girl." And she dressed up as one of the characters. I thought it was the cutest thing. She's my age.
Hmm.
And she took that shit serious. Her daughter pissed her off so bad
Yeah.
that she left her at home and she went by herself. I was like, these Star Trek people are serious. And but I appreciated their moxie and their loyalty. And
Hmm.
of course, I'm thinking I should probably go maybe see one of those Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
the originals are great. Yeah, that trilogy is fantastic. And that was at a time when you could actually leave a kid alone. You can't leave a kid alone no more these days.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I would. Well, no. The kid was in high school. She was a friend of my son's, and she
yeah.
was good mouthing. Like, I'm just gonna leave your ass at home. And I said, "Did you leave her?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, yeah, that's what happens when you're a single mom. You got a mouthy teenager, and they can't stay home alone.
Yeah. So getting into television, do you remember the Z channel?
uh, Z is in zebra.
Yeah, the Z channel. It was like a very popular channel in the 70s and 80s in LA. Like everyone would watch anything on there. It was like a really popular channel.
I'm gonna be honest. When I moved to LA in 1982,
Okay.
um, yeah. Well, you probably weren't even born, were you?
I was born in 83.
1982. Yeah, there you go. When I moved to LA, from Orange County, I did not. I had a TV, but I didn't have cable, and I lived near a mountain, so I had no reception.
Mm-hmm.
I had no TV for many, 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 many years. So my friend in Santa Barbara, my best friend at the time, I lost him to AIDS, but
Oh.
he used to record TV for me.
Yeah.
And then on a VHS, yes, a VHS, and he would bring it down to me in LA, and I would put it in my VHS player, and that's what I would watch. So I only watched what my friend would record. So that would be Ab Fab, news, but usually at that point it was a week old. But hey, why
Yeah.
not? I never read a newspaper at that point. So,
Yeah.
I would get old news, I'd watch old Ab Fabs, and there was one movie I had, and it was The Outsiders, which I watched over and over and over again.
Love it.
So I did a lot of other stuff versus watch TV because I just simply didn't have it. Isn't that weird? So I missed a lot of stuff, like the Z Channel. I'm telling you, Tommy, I'm a weird cat.
Yeah. That's why I love you, because I'm a weird cat too. Like, do you remember watching any sitcoms growing up? Like Mary Tyler Moore or anything?
Yes, Mary Tyler Moore. My favorite was I Love Lucy. Oh my God.
Yes.
Now, remember, when I grew up with one TV in our home, we had only a couple channels, by the way.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable or anything like that.
No.
So depending on if your antenna, if you put aluminum foil on them, I'm not joking, that shit's real. And we only had a couple channels, and the fourth one sometimes wouldn't even come in. And if my dad wasn't watching the news or a fighter or the game, or my mom wasn't watching her soap operas or whatever she wanted to watch, the four kids, if one of us wasn't in there hogging the TV, we had to take turns.
Yeah.
But one thing I do remember getting to see was I Love Lucy. I love Lucy.
Yeah.
Love Mary Tyler Moore. Now I'm going to age myself here, but I for those listening right now, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to say the Three Stooges rocked. Little Rascals. Was it Simba or Kimba?
Yeah.
Love White Lion. Was it Kimba or Simba?
It was Kimba, I believe. Yeah.
And Love Little Rascals and National Geographic and Mutual of Omaha. Those two were my favorite. And then every once in a while on a Sunday when nobody else was around and I would get the TV, I would like channel 11 at that time. I don't know what it was, but it was this weird. I couldn't always get the channel in. It was snowy. Sometimes you can get something, and I sometimes get a black and white Dracula movie.
Nice.
Can I tell you, I would lose my shit. I was like, oh,
yeah.
This is like the coolest thing. I was so afraid someone was going to come in and say, I want to watch blah, blah, but when I would catch those, you had to catch them. No, we couldn't record then, right? You had to be there in front of the boob tube to catch it. And when I would catch a black and white Dracula film, I'd lose my shit, which would make sense now while I'm totally in the paranormal and supernatural, because I was drawn to that. And it was like a special dessert you never got, but I have to be on a Sunday or Saturday sometimes to get it, because I never really knew what time they came on. Now I think about it, we had a TV guide. I don't know why I didn't look into it. Oh, well, anyways. But it was always kind of like, if I'm lucky, I'm going to hit one of those black and white Dracula movies. And then what else? They were kind of gross, actually, too.
Yeah.
But those were definitely the animal ones, Mutual of Omaha and National Geographic.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Little Rascal? It's a hard one.
I love all of them. They were so cute.
Yeah.
They were like they were a little gang,
Yeah.
It's kind of asking me which son. I have two sons. Which one do I like better? I love them both very much and in different ways, right? There's an equal amount of love. It's just the love is. I love them all. Because I was gonna say. Yeah, I love them all, really. I can tell you, though, which Three Stooges I liked.
Oh, which one?
Not the mean one, Mo, who kept hitting everybody. Because I was like, God, can you stop hitting? Curly, for sure.
Yes,
he was funny.
yes. I wish I could give you a high five right now. Curly was my man, and always will be.
Yeah, because he got smacked around, and he kept getting back up and laughing it off, and it's kind of like the quintessential human being who's figured out the trick in life, right?
Yeah.
Just get up, brush it off, laugh it off, and keep going. You're all gonna get smacked around by a mow every once in a while in your life.
Yeah, my dad's dad, my grandfather, he saw the Three Stooges movies in the theater when he was a kid, and then when they hit cable in my dad's generation, my dad started watching it from there because my grandpa indoctrinated him, and then my dad indoctrinated me, and I'm sure that when my dad comes to visit next week, we're gonna watch the Three Stooges because that's just our thing.
Tell Dad I said, yeah, yeah, go, Papa San, do it.
Yeah. I love it. Did you watch like children's programming like Schoolhouse Rock or like Romper Room or any of those shows when you were growing up? No.
No, I 60s. I don't think any of that stuff was around, was it? And like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah,
it was.
Schoolhouse Rock started in 72.
I was born in 64. No, I was no. Um, like I said, at that point, my mom had the TV. She was no sitting there with her cigarettes and coffee and watching her soap operas, and and you'd walk in and you might. I didn't even know that was around. Like, see, here's the thing too. If you think about it, if you have no ways of knowing what's on the TV
Right.
at a certain time or day, because right now we have access to so much information all the time.
Yeah.
I would have had to have a TV guide to even know what it was, and I'd have to have seen it to like it, to want it, to miss it. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know anything was going on unless I actually saw it, which would be, yeah, we were kind of out running around barefoot, stepping on rusty tacks
Yeah.
and nails and building stuff. Kind of like old school days. We didn't sit around from the TV a lot because, first of all, we didn't have that luxury because somebody else always, my mom or dad had the TV.
Yeah. And it was probably a black and white one, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. My dad had a little teeny one in his office. That was definitely black and white. I think our very first, yeah, our first TV was absolutely black and white, and then I think eventually we bumped up to a color one. Yeah.
Nice. Did you have any like lunch boxes with like cartoon characters on them?
No, my mom. No, we didn't have a lot of money growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we did. What did we do? I guess we must have brown bagged it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me think. I think when I got a little older, though, oh, the Partridge Family. How in the hell can I forget the Partridge Family?
Oh, of course.
And the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
And what's the DeFranco guy? What was
Oh,
that one?
the DeFranco family.
Love them too. Throw them in there. I think I had a Partridge Family lunch pill later on when I was older. Well, younger, older,
Yeah.
Um, I think I actually was able to squeak one out of my mom. Either that or I'm totally making that shit up, and I have some weird memory of someone else having it, and I thought it was mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were all cool. Did you like the Cow Sills? They did that song. I knew, I knew, I knew, I knew, I'd make her happy, happy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, I love that song. Yes. And what was the other one? Oh my God! What about one banana, two bananas, oranges, oranges? Oh, oranges, oranges. Oh,
Is
come on,
is
help me!
that the
It
Archies?
looked like.
Is that the Archies?
No, I only had the Archie's comic books in my grandma's house in North Dakota upstairs in this really weird room that we had to stay in. I swear to God, there were some
Mm-hmm.
spirits in there. And what we every summer we'd go try to sleep up there, no bathroom, and have to read the same Archies over and over and over and over, or look at the pictures.
Yeah.
No, I never saw the Archies. I just read them. But no, the HR Puffin stuff. There
HR
it is.
Puffin stuff.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sid and Marty
That
Krofft.
those things, acid or crack or high. Because if you look back at that,
Mm-hmm.
that's some crazy shit. The visuals of it,
Oh, yeah.
like how they even come up with that. Like if they weren't high, they probably were back then. Everyone was doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I talked to Sid Krofft last year, and it was amazing. I mean, him and his brother, they also did Land of the Lost, which was another one. The Boogaloos and Sigmund, the Sea Monsters, all these weird psychedelic puppet shows that you probably couldn't make today.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff that we grew up with that you could never do. You could never make now.
Yeah.
also you have to be careful who you're watching it to because you could offend somebody. But I know that I believe the cast members of The Office said, even though that wasn't that long ago, they made it. They said they could never make that show now, ever.
Wow.
And yet, it's heavily rerun like crazy. People really enjoy it. But they said they could never make it now.
It wasn't that
So
long
even
ago. It was just
yeah,
like, it's like yesterday.
right, but yet the climate has changed that much that they could
Yeah.
never get away with making that now. Oh, not in a minute. So the climate has changed. You know, there's like what you call reading the room.
Yeah.
And it's changed. So you can be mindful of that or not. But yeah, things have definitely changed, especially because I've been around for 60 years. I've seen it change a lot, and then
Yeah.
it changes again, and then it changes again, and so now we're going through another change. So I don't think it's about not changing. I think it's about how are you going to handle the change? Are you going to take it right between the eyes, or are you just going to go with it like bamboo, man? Just go with it,
Yeah.
lean into it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I miss seeing comedy movies, come out in the theaters. There hasn't been that in quite a while. I see the Netflix stuff and I'm just like, God, I've seen this before. It's so cliche. It's just like I'm worried about comedy at this point, first and foremost.
I do love comedy. I will say this: at the end of the day, if I can't find something really good to watch when it comes to supernatural, paranormal, or whistleblowers and all that, I'm not talking about movies. I'm talking about the real footage. Um,
Yeah.
um, Ancient Aliens, Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. That's the stuff I watch. But I will say I do love comedy. Like if I love to laugh, I love to share laughter. I love to make people laugh. I love it. I love when they make me laugh. I mean, I'll go scroll through my Instagram and I see something funny. I will watch it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and
Yeah.
I'm just laughing. I'm crying by myself. And then I think someone walked in, they'd be like, "Are you okay, man?" I'm just cracking myself up over here. And then of course I'll send it to someone else. And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's funny." I'm like, "Didn't you just cry?" And they're like, "I didn't cry, Dee Dee." And I'm like, "Yeah, watch it like 5 times." And then they're like, "No, I have things to do." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that's what I'll do to make myself like laugh my ass off.
So getting into music, do you remember the first album you ever bought with your own money?
I had a great album collection.
Hmm.
I want to say the first. Oh, Fleetwood Mac.
Rumors.
Rumors for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I borrowed my sister's Elton John,
Hmm.
the double album Eldrick Road.
Oh, love it.
My poor family, my mom, not my family, but my mom and dad must have hated us because, like, I was like, I would listen to something over and over and over. Like, they
Yeah.
had to have been like, oh my God, somebody break her little record player, please. Michelle, do not loan her your albums anymore. But definitely rumors. And then, then I remember having to save a lot of money, but then when Duran Duran came out, don't
Yeah.
even get me started.
Oh,
That was a jackpot. My little sister and I think she bought it and I stole it from her, or I bought it, we shared it. I can't remember. And the Duran Duran album, don't even. No, yeah, yeah. Hungry Like a Wolf.
I
And then of
love
course
it.
Japan, Soft Cell. That I love. That's when we were dancing. We were dancing, Tommy. We were dancing to the discos in L.A.
Yeah.
underage.
Japan.
You
Wow,
like
I
those ones?
haven't heard them in a while. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. I got like their video compilations, the one that won them the first Grammy for long form video. Um, God, I just
yep.
love I love Duran Duran. Those videos were so stylish and amazing.
Well, yeah, it was Russell Mulcahy did the very first one, I believe, and what he was the first one to actually cut the music to the beat of the song.
I've had him on.
Unless I'm Yeah, and that changed the whole thing. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just a bunch of footage into the song. He actually cut the footage to the song so the visuals were to the beat of the song, and that changed. Well, MTV.
Hmm.
Hello. I remember when MTV came on the air. My little sister Lori told me about it. She was like, "Oh, you're gonna die there. There's this thing called MTV, and they have music videos." And I go, "What's a music video?" And she's like, "Oh my God!" So we were able to watch it, I think at my friend's house. Oh God, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer. Let me tell you, when you come from my generation, you start to appreciate the littlest things because we were, now everything that we slowly received, you know, God or whatever, is already here now for all this new generation. We went from like no microwave to getting the first microwave, right?
Right.
We went from the rotary phone to a push button phone, to a cell phone. We went from, you know what I mean? So we went from getting up and having to change the channel, turn no remote, and have 3 channels,
Mhm.
and have to be there and watch it. Like, and if you blinked, you missed it. Too bad. Oh well, you missed it, right?
Yeah.
So now all the modern technology and the perks in life, when you have come from that and you now see what's going on, it's pretty sweet. We mankind has a lot of, well, those who are fortunate have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember
It's
having
easy.
like 10 channels, and like, as soon as the cable boxes came with, 100 channels, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then, of course, not surprisingly, I've seen people blame humanity on that, you know. But yeah, I mean, as a cinephile and devoted historian of this shit, I've loved, the cable boxes and getting more channels and all of that, and MTV, when it turned into a reality show station, I was so sad because, we had like 15, 16 years of pure music videos, nothing else.
Yep. And you'd put it on when your mom said you have to clean your room. You'd put that on and just cling to it, and look up every once in a while and be like, "Oh, I love that video," or just a song. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Good, those good times.
Do you remember your first concert?
I can't remember if it was Adam Ant or the girls. Belinda Carlisle was the lead singer.
The Go-Go's.
Go Go's. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either the Go Go's or Adam Ant.
Mm-hmm. So a lot's happened since the last time we talked. Big Sky got canceled. You started your podcast down with Dedee. You moved recently. You had surgery. Like, how have you been able to process all of this stuff? I mean, what's going on?
Well, if you look at my hat, it says it right there.
Bad bitch.
Bad bitch. A bad bitch. It's been a lot to process. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
Mm,
the show being canceled was a blow. I think the fans were really disappointed. But it's funny. Sometimes I don't think anyone realizes that sometimes, not always, the actors themselves and production people who are in production, we miss the show.
right.
I miss Denise. Like when they canceled the show, Disney didn't pick it up. I don't get to play Denise anymore, and that's sad.
Yeah.
Played her for 3 years, and I miss her. I miss the show. I miss everyone I worked with. Having said that, I do know that just when one door closes, another one opens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and then we had the strike. That was pretty painful, and a lot of us have lost a lot from walking the picket line and all that kind of stuff. But we had to do what we had to do to, try to clean up our contracts and make things a little bit more fair. And then yeah, I just got a hip, so now I'm like bionic, baby.
Yeah.
So that's odd and different. So, and I'm healing as we speak, and I'm actually almost healed. So I'm excited to get back to work. But now, honestly, Tommy, in the industry, uh, you have like everybody's unemployed pretty much. So there's a lot more of us unemployed. So, and not a lot of roles. So it's pretty competitive. And I'm always the kind of gal that's like, let the best person get the role. Um, so I know in my heart my turn's coming up to get another role. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen, right?
Right.
So I'm using this time to heal and, like I said, work on my soul
Yeah.
and my body, and continue with my Instagram shout outs and random thoughts. To try to help people out. I'm hoping I can shred a little bit of light during these crazy times right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. When does your next season of Down with Dedee start?
Dude, I have a big old pause on my show because I want to do something different with it, and I have to figure out how to do that. So I just put a pause on it, and my producer and I, he went on to do other things. So now I'm kind of looking at what I want to do with it. I think what I want to do with it is to make it a feel good show where I just have on a bunch different guests talk about what it means to be this part of the solution versus the problem in the
Mm-hmm.
world. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's easy to point your finger and bitch about problems that are going on,
Right.
and it's not difficult to find one. Just look left, right, up, down, and around. They're everywhere, right?
Right.
But who are those who are actually effectively doing something about it, right?
Yeah.
I want to hear about them, and I think like I love that when I go on my Instagram and I see somebody posting something that somebody did that was really nice for no reason other than it was the right thing to do, right?
Right.
It gives me faith in mankind again. And I know people are doing bigger and broader things like that when it comes to Mother Earth and animals. And then there are those who are just simply doing like pulling their car on the freeway around a dog that's running and they're cocooning the dog, flushing to the side so someone can get out and save him from being hit. That I love. Like those are all heroes.
Mm-hmm.
All those people who help with that are heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear from them. And I think it would be really amazing to have maybe turned Down with Dedee into part of the solution, so that no matter any day you go to listen to an episode of Down with Dedee, you hear something really positive, not for the sake of just being positive,
Mm-hmm.
but actually proactive and part of the solution. You know, because then that inspires other people sometimes to go, oh, well, I never thought of it as such the smallest gesture making such a huge difference, right?
Right. You had Mariel Hemingway on the show, and like I think she's so talented. I've always wanted to have her on the podcast, but I've never been able to make the connection. But yeah, I mean, I watched the show and I just enjoy it. I think you do great stuff on it.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Down with Dedee will come back. I just have to kind of figure it out a little bit more, and then yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
figure.
Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
An innie.
Yeah, I read an article years ago. People who have deep innies, they tend to be more kind, caring, generous, and compassionate, and they
I
live,
never.
and they live longer. Yeah.
Well, I keep threatening to my boys. I'm going to probably. I think I said 120. So I told them, and I'm at 60. So I'm only halfway there. So I told them, I ain't going nowhere. So just get used to it. I ain't going nowhere. And if I do leave my Earth body, I'm still not going anywhere. Just be open to the energy and the frequency, and I will let them know that I'm good on the other side, wherever that is.
Here's a couple jokes to send you off. What kind of meat does a priest eat on Friday?
What kind of meat does a priest eat on Friday?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a vegan. What is it?
None.
That was like a double whammy. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give me another one.
Okay. You know the difference between a golf ball and a G-spot?
Oh, Jesus. A golf ball. No, tell me.
A man rather spend 20 minutes looking for a golf ball.
You know what? It's true.
Yes.
What the heck? I don't know why I'm laughing.
Yes, I'm proud to say, full disclosure, I am the finger bang master, and I have been since junior high.
Okay, there you go. On that note.
Dedee, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back on. And
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry it took forever to get my ass back on, but I was kind of like bionic and dealing with the show being canceled and 2 boys and 4 wild animals, and then I moved across the United States. So, but it's all good. I'm back, and remember, I'm a bad bitch.
Bad bitch. Yes, and I get such a thrill when I get notifications that you liked one of my dirty memes on Instagram, so thank you so much for that.
So dirty. I love it. It's hysterical. Sometimes I go, dude, and I'll just like it because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, you have a great time at the vet, and take care of that animal.
All right, honey, I will. Thank you, sweetie. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Honey, bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Dedee Pfeiffer. Ain't she a sweetheart? I freaking love her. She is so awesome, and I'm so glad that we got to nerd out a little bit today before she took her dog to the vet. We had some technical difficulties during this interview. a bevy of balloons popped up on the screen, and we didn't know what the fuck that was. And I'm like, did you change your settings, or did you fix your settings? It's probably your camera. It certainly wasn't my camera. It's because she told me something like that happened before, something similar happened. But I'm so glad that we could nerd out today. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.